Today we're going to be unboxing and looking at a Mishimoto 3-port universal fitment catch can. Today we're opening up the Mishimoto 3-port baffled oil catch can. This is going to go in our CRX build. Links are in the description below. Love the packaging. It's very clean. Has a little bit of info on the back side here, but kind of looks like the catch can a little bit, I think. Oh, and it's in there. Okay, so we've got the actual catch can itself, which is mounted in the top part of the packaging. That's cool. Nice orange foam in there. Okay, so it's a 3-port. It's got 2 ins and 1 out. So these will come from your crankcase. I've got one on the back of my engine and one on the valve cover. And then the out is going to go to our intake. So it's pulling a vacuum. So we're going to put this into our intake pre-turbo. And hopefully it'll be nice clean air without any oil or junk in it, so that we're not pulling all that stuff through our turbo and intercooler and burning it in the engine. So besides that, a little booklet here, and then our 3 fittings. These kind of feel like plastic, but they're definitely aluminum. They've got O-rings on all of them here. I think these are 1/2 inch, and we might be needing to get some different ones because of the specific tubes that I'm running. And then got our 2 mounting bolts. Looks like these are actually self-tapping screws, and that'll be our mounting bracket here on top of the catch can. I really love the internal design of this catch can. There's so much junk out there that, like, oh, it's a catch can, but actually it's just not at all. So this catch can has been designed incredibly well. It says simply detach the bottom and wash. There we go. So it's a pretty tight fit on here. Ooh, man, that's tight. Loosened up. I think we're just trying to get over the O-ring here. So a lot of catch cans just don't have anything in them, and so they're not actually doing much. The Mishimoto 3-port catch can here has some interesting technology and has been well designed and well thought out. So here we have our 2 intake ports, in, out, and in. Then on the intake ports going into the catch can, got these 2 deflectors here. So these deflectors are going to divert air around this baffle so that the air actually gets down into the body of the catch can, swirls around, gets some turbulence, so that hopefully a lot of the stuff that air is carrying is actually deposited in the catch can. Then once that air is all nice and disturbed and hopefully has dropped everything that it's going to deposit, got something super special here. This is a 50 micron bronze filter. I've seen things like this on air compressors, industrial air compressors before. So it's going to separate out oil and oil particles and unwanted, just like blow-by from the crankcase, and remove it before that air then comes out of our out vent here and then into our intake system. I prefer to go with the closed catch can system because it's more environmentally friendly and street legal as opposed to venting to atmosphere, which many other catch cans do. This way, we also have vacuum on our catch can that's helping to create a negative pressure environment inside of our crankcase instead of relying on atmospheric pressure differences to just flow that excess air and pressure out of the crankcase. So I love this design. It's got the mount on top here, just 3 Allen bolts. Another Allen bolt here so that if you need to service it, you can take off this baffle and get to the bronze filter in here if you need to change that for whatever reason. It's got an O-ring on here, so we're getting a nice tight seal on this catch can. And then we also have a drain plug, a large Allen drain plug on the bottom of the can itself. So you can either divert that back to your crankcase, which is not my intention. You really don't want all this crap and stuff that the catch can is catching to go back into your engine. So every once in a while, you can either take the spitting out and drain it, or just take the whole lower part of the catch can off, dump it out in an environmentally friendly way, of course, and then wash out this catch can so that it's nice and clean. So it reassembles super easy. Just a screw on. Once we get up to the O-ring, it's a little bit tighter. It looks like it should fit pretty flush here between the two mating surfaces, so like really I can almost not feel anything there. And we've got our aluminum fittings. Yeah, I'll have to get the wrench out to put these down, but actually not going to end up using a couple of these, I think. I'm pretty sure these are 1/2 inch, and I might need like a 3/8 and a 3/4 on a couple of them, but we'll see. My total review of the just unboxing of this, packaging is super slick. There's really good engineering behind this product. I love Mishimoto. They make good stuff. I would not hesitate to use this on my car. Of course, I am using this on my car. It's actually pretty small. I expected it to be a lot larger. This can't be more than like 5 inches tall, 2.5 inches in diameter. So the total footprint of this thing is not huge. I was expecting something, you know, a little bit girthier, but I really like it. That will also it'll make it a little bit easier to mount and use in the engine bay without taking up a whole bunch of space. So I actually placed my order for this item through Summit Racing, and it looks like it actually came from Mishimoto directly. I've bought products from both companies before. I use Summit all the time for things. Mishimoto, it seems like, at least to me, there was kind of a stigma with pricing. It was always like, you know, the big bad stuff that, you know, real people always bought. But surprisingly, it's actually not as unaffordable as you might think. They've got tons of different offerings. This one's a universal fitment, so it's going to go great with, you know, the interesting hack job that is the CRX project. But for some applications, they do have application-specific items that you can check out to see if they have a product for your car specifically. Catch cans are going to be a great additional item for any type of turbocharged application, especially more modern designs that use direct injection. If your car has a turbo, doesn't use a catch can system of any kind, or has an inadequate crankcase ventilation system, So many different things get kicked up inside the crankcase of your engine. So that's where the crankshaft is spinning, where all the oil is. There's blow by, the oil, gas, diesel, exhaust particles that get past the pistons and into the oil, into the crankcase. And so that positive crankcase pressure is then vented out, usually into your intake system. And if you have a direct injection system, many of these oils and whatnot get deposited on the inside of your intake system. So that's going to be potentially your turbocharger, maybe your intercooler, the intake runners. I know on a lot of more modern Volkswagens, they have direct injection, and their intake runners just get absolutely clogged with buildup, and as well as on the valves and things, which cause problems. Walnut blasting is a very common solution for this issue, but it is time consuming and it is expensive to have done. So a catch can potentially prevent some of those problems, or if not prevent them outright, potentially lengthen the service interval on that. So you're not shelling out a whole bunch of money for walnut shells. So all in all, I am super happy with this purchase. In a future video, I will be getting this catch can on the car. I'll have a link to that video in the description, but be sure to follow for more product unboxings and reviews as we go along with the CRX project. Stay safe, keep wrenching. Really? You okay? Good girl.